Let's talk about where this market's at, and let's look at the charts of some of our favorite altcoins. Welcome to Everything Currency. This is the show where we talk about everything crypto and mo. I'm your host Jay, and today I want to talk to you guys all about this Bitcoin chart. I want to talk to you guys about the total 2 chart, the psychology of the market. I also want to talk to you about trac Omi and the current trade that I'm in, Rune, for the mainnet. So if you're excited about trying to make some money in this market when a lot of the things are going down, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to subscribe to the channel. And if you need me to talk about any cryptocurrency or anything like that, go ahead and leave me in the comment box, and I'll go ahead and check that out for you and probably make a video or talk about it in a live stream. Also follow me on Twitter at Everythingcurrency, and check out my website Everythingcurrencycrypto. Now let's get right into this market right now. So the first thing I want to talk about is whether we are in the belief stage of the market cycle or in the disbelief stage of the market cycle. Now these stages are of course the complete opposite, but they mean exactly the opposite. One means we're going down for a very extended bear market, and one means that we're going up, shooting up very high. So let's try to figure out exactly where we are, and I want you guys to kind of let me know in the comments where you think we are, because I've been talking to a lot of traders about this. A lot of people are debating on this, and it is about 50-50. Some people believe this is the belief stage, some people believe this is the disbelief stage. But what am I talking about? So this is the psychology of the market chart right here, and what they have charted right here is the previous Bitcoin bull run cycle, and they laid the psychology of the market cycle chart on top of it. So what the actual chart looks like is, I know I talked about this on the channel a bunch of times, but for anybody who hasn't seen it, it talks about how we start right here in disbelief, and then we ride these waves of emotions all the way up to euphoria, and then once we hit euphoria, we ride these emotions all the way back down, all the way into disbelief again. So let's take a look at the previous Bitcoin cycle. We can see we had disbelief over here, and it went all the way up, tapped out in euphoria at around 2018, and then we came down, complacency, anxiety, and denial is where a lot of people think we are right now. I said belief or disbelief. It's actually denial or disbelief. So denial says that, hey, we already went through our euphoria phase. People had this complacency phase where they say, hey, we just need to cool off, we're gonna still going up. Then people started having anxiety. Why are my coins not returning? And then we have this denial where investments are going to come back, they're great companies, and people kind of ignore the whole market for the fact that they have a good investment. And I will tell you right now that ignoring these cycles of emotions, of human emotions, is not a good idea in my opinion. If you're a long-term holder, then yeah, you know what, it works. It will always cycle back around, hopefully, if it's a good coin with a good use case and people care about it by the time it comes back around. But for me, I don't like to hold through these cycles, so I'm trying to figure out, all right, are we in the denial phase right here or the disbelief phase? Now, why do I think we're in these two is because if I look at this Bitcoin chart right here, we can see this green line represents the top of the previous euphoria cycle, and if we go back down, we can see that down here somewhere where's a little blimp right here of the previous cycle. Before that, we came back down and then went up and had this same type of run and started the disbelief right here in this cycle. So me personally, I'm leaning more towards we are not done yet. Maybe we're not in the denial or the disbelief phase. I'm thinking that we're probably somewhere around, I don't know, optimism, because we haven't had this extremely big blow off top yet. So when I look at this chart, I can see, hey, people are getting kind of optimistic in this level. or maybe it's not going to even play out the same. Now let's look more into Bitcoin for me to figure out why I think optimism is a good level, because everyone thinks we're in disbelief. We have a double top here and they think we're going to go down, kind of consolidate, and then go up on this big run right here. The other people think we're in denial. We're having a double top and we're going to capitulate and go way back down, but neither of these kind of look like it to me. I'm more thinking optimism, where we're in this area of just retardedness right here, and then we'll probably probably start to get a leg up. At least that's where I want to be. Now let me try to make a case for it on this chart right here. So looking at the weekly Bitcoin chart, I see something that I really like. I see right here that the MACD is trying to cross bullish. It's happened before where we got faked out on it, but even when we got faked out, we've seen some pretty nice price action for Bitcoin, except for right here, which was the middle of the bear market. So the middle of the bear market, we had a MACD cross kind of fake us out, and it went sideways and then went down. But we have an extremely big curve on this MACD on the weekly that looks like it wants to give us the momentum to push above this 13 and this 34 moving average, which if you watch my channel, you know those are the moving average that I like to get above and consider us bullish. Now the second thing that I'm noticing on this chart is the 200 MA on the weekly hasn't been touched at all, except for when we hit COVID. So if we do bounce and break, if we are in the denial phase, then we will be coming down and going to about 25k. I think that's why a lot of traders were calling for 25k, but that would mean that this MACD would have to pull back and really fake us out and go really bearish, which it could still happen. Looking at this daily chart right here, I have this daily chart right here that I drew some trend lines on, but we're kind of going to ignore those except for this white line right here, which has been holding this price up since it first came on the scene back here in January 22. So the price is riding up this white line right here. This orange line is what's called the point of control in the VPVR, which means that's where the most buyers and sellers are in that level, which is around 42k. So what I'm looking at here is I'm saying, hey, we're riding this uptrend and we're coming to a head with this point of control level. The main thing that's happening also is that we're getting rejected by this 200 moving average, which I just said was one of the bullish indicators, and we're getting rejected by it. We're trying to close above it, and the only difference between last time when we tried to get above it and this time when we tried to get above it is this time when we tried to get above it, we were below the 13 and below the 34, got rejected over here. Now when we come up to it this time, if we do continue to go up to it this time, we won't have any resistance from this 200 moving average to pump above Bitcoin right here, but then we do have some resistance in that 46 and 47k level. We break through that, there's not much resistance until we hit around 51, 52 levels. So I'm trying to say, hey, there's some bullish things on this chart that's showing me that maybe we could actually be in another phase besides this denial or this disbelief phase, maybe in the optimism or the hope phase. Not sure. Maybe we might even be in, the panic capitulation phase already. I don't know where you guys are on this chart, but me, I'm in the I want to believe that we are going up. Looking at the Bitcoin weekly chart, which I have right here, we can see that, all right, on the Bitcoin weekly chart, things are still looking ugly. Since I said a long time ago, when we bounced below the 13 and 34, came up to retest it, and as soon as we retested that to the bearish side, I was like, damn it, this is not looking good. Once it started to get even more confirmed, it's not looking good. But overall, we haven't created a lower low yet. We're still having higher lows, like this low is higher than this low, so we're still looking there. This TDI is actually letting me know that we're trying to bounce toward the upside, trying to get some momentum headed in the upside on Bitcoin for that weekly. So looking pretty interesting there. On the 12-hour chart, we can see that we're below the 200 moving average, which has been the resistance since we dipped in December. So let's just get back above that. Right now it's all coming to a head, and we will soon find out, probably within a week or two, whether we are in disbelief, denial, or the belief stage. So I hope that we can say, hey, you know what, for Bitcoin, we're headed into this belief stage. Now the total 2 is looking just like Bitcoin, has more of a solidified downtrend, but needs to get above the 200 on the daily. Then I can see some pretty good things happening in altcoins. Assets overall tend to be doing pretty well over the weekend because we had a nice downtrend on the DYX, but now it's pumping right now, so we'll see if we can get up to this 96 level. If not, it's looking like this thing wants to go ahead and create a triple top. Interesting things going on in the world, interesting things going on with the whole financial infrastructure. It's all being tossed up and moved around and broken, rules are being broken, all type of stuff is happening with the overall global market. So this dollar right here is looking pretty interesting. We'll see if this breaks down, and we'll see if asset prices continue to go up when this breaks down. Just something to keep an eye on. Looking at the stable coin dominance, we pumped today on stable coin dominance, so all coins are probably taking a nice hit, but we are getting rejected at the same level, trying to create a double top on the stable coin dominance, or even like a quadruple top. There's a top here, there's a top there, top there, top there. So we're just kind of ranging in this level. If we break to the downside of this stablecoin dominance chart, these altcoins will go crazy. Looking at one of my favorite coins, trac. Oh, this thing is going crazy today. So over the 34, it's over the 200, it's spiked up. They had some nice news today, but the price of, I was gonna have a whole different video to talk about, to be honest, but this thing just kind of went up crazy. Now the all-time high for this token is all the way up here. Now I have it in satoshis right now, so the all-time high is more than double of where it's at right now, hitting a bit of resistance, which is also the 200 moving average on the daily, which is a very important moving average. You can see that once this yellow line right here is the 200. Once we bounced above the 200 moving average, we saw that trac went up about 400%. So that is the bull run indicator, getting above that 200 on the daily. Right now, I expect I'm not going to go and buy some more because this 200 is probably going to be some resistance, and this indicator, the MACD, is telling me that it probably will be some resistance based on this thing being way overextended and getting a little bit tired. So shout out to the people holding trac. Trac is something that I'll hold long term. I know I say I don't like to hold downtrends, and that's with the majority of my portfolio. I will sell out and get back in, but trac is something that I dollar cost average in for the next 5 years. So for me, 5 years dollar cost averaging into a token that's actually building something that's actually getting used by big companies is not a bad idea overall, similar to the way OMI is. Now OMI has partners with, now this chart looks the opposite of that trac chart, to be honest with you, but OMI has the partners, and it has the type of product that you can know is going to be here in 5 years. Yeah, there will be a downtrend, and it will follow the rest of the market cycles as any of these other coins, but right now, while this volume is extremely low, this is when I want to be buying a little bit of these coins. I'm not going to go and do a whole bunch of money at a time, but hey, $20 a day, $100 a paycheck, 10% of your paycheck, whatever you want to do. I actually read a book, and I always say this on this channel, 1/10 of your paycheck could be used to make some type of investment so that you can have a better life in the future. That's what I did, and it actually worked. Looking at this chart of OMI though, I see some pretty cool things, even though the price is dipping on the daily. These white lines that I have pulled up on the OMI chart is the fib retracement level. Let me delete this red line. That's the line that I was hoping it would hold for a while, but this is the fib retracement on the OMI chart right here. Now we broke below the 0.5 fib level, and it looks like we want to come down and tap the 0.618 fib level on this chart, which is a very important level when it comes to Fibonacci's. We're having a bearish cross on this MACD down here that says, hey, we might come down to this fib level at 0.00241, maybe a little bit lower, maybe a little bit higher than that, but it looks like we want to work our way down a little bit lower. But if I look back, okay, we broke below this level, and I look back at the previous price action right here, I can see that there is a lot of chop in this area. There is a lot of trading, there is a lot of volume going on there, so that area could hold as support and try to create myself a nice little higher high if this was the high, and then we have some type of higher low if that was the low, and then we have a higher low right here. Now when I zoom in just a little bit more on this chart, I notice something that a lot of people won't really notice, and that is this right here. We have some bullish divergence with this going up and this going down, so I will be trying to pick up some of this coin to go ahead and see if that will actually play out. And if it does play out, then I will expect that it will probably go back to the 13 moving average first, and if it crosses that, it'll go back to the 34 moving average. Either way, getting back to the 13 moving average is about a 37% gain. If it drops a little bit more, if it goes straight up from where it's at right now, that's about 24%, and if it goes up to the 34, that's about 51%. So I will be watching this very closely because it is dipping and it does have some bullish diversion. So shout out to all my OMI homies out there still holding on to that OMI bag. We know that a bunch of coins are getting burned. As a matter of fact, like 1.1 billion coins just got burnt when they did another golden moments duo drop that just happened a couple days ago, which are going for stupid cheap. I should go and get me some. So the last thing that I want to talk about is Rune. So I've been talking about Rune on this channel, not that much. I've told you guys that Rune was one of my worst mistakes in crypto because I saw it below a penny and now it's at $8.71, and I still think that this thing has room for growth. So Rune has a mainnet coming up soon. They have people are going to be able to provide unlimited liquidity. They have a mechanism in their token that pumps the price the more liquidity that gets added. And looking at this chart, have you ever seen a more easier pattern to spot than this one? We are literally bouncing here, so beautiful. And I've been trading this coin to see if, you know, once it breaks out below the 34, I'll get out. But right now it's bouncing on the 34. This is the 4-hour chart. This pattern is playing out lovely. And if I look on the daily chart, if you had got some when I made my video about Rune, you are basically in profit almost every single day since -2. So shout out to this token. It is cooling down a little bit. There is a lower low on this chart on the 4-hour. We have this low right here, and then we have a low that kind of dips below it. So this trend could be turning around, but hey, with mainnet coming up, I am thinking that, hey, people are going to need to buy this token. There is a catalyst. Just watching the overall landscape, and Bitcoin has to participate. So let me know what you guys think about the video today. I had to give you guys some nice, long, drawn out explanations for what I'm thinking about this market. Been taking some time away. Gonna start taking this channel a lot more seriously again, because I know that there's some money to be made for all of us. So let's get this money together. Join my Telegram group. Leave me a comment in the comment box of anything you would like me to check out. Shout out to the homie who made the Jayla, who made the Motive EP Deluxe. If you are a musician, or if you just like hip-hop in general, you just like music, one of the first people out there to drop an NFT album, go and check it out. He's been a long time subscriber of the channel and all around good dude, and it's some pretty cool music on there. I'm about to buy me one as soon as we end this video. RIP to Crypto Roots. Shout out to everybody who watches the channel. Y'all think positive, and positive things will happen. Enjoy some of that sunlight. Till next time, peace.